it's Claire from Santulan Yoga. In this practice, we will be nurturing our intention for growth. So we will be grounding, unfurling, reaching tall, and rooting down like a seed developing into a beautiful plant. So we won't need any props for this class today, so just join me on the mat when you're ready. We will start by a seated position. Sitting on the bottom, legs extended in front. Growing tall through the spine, rolling the shoulders back and down. Placing the hands on the knees and creating a very soft fist. As we breathe in, reaching the left arm straight up and imagine that there's a rope hanging straight down in place. We want to strongly pull down on that rope, staying strong through the shoulder. Pulling down, pulling down. Inhaling again, right arm this time, reaching up. Exhaling, pulling down strong with the arm and the shoulder. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Once more to each side, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. This time, bringing the legs out a little bit wider. I will turn to face you. So as wide as the legs feel comfortable. Bring the arms up to shoulder height. We inhale to center. Exhale, twisting through the belly, reaching the left arm towards the right toes. And either just keeping the hands, a hand and arm at the same height as the shoulder, or you can start reaching towards the toes, whatever feels more comfortable. Inhaling to center, exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, center, right. Inhale, center, left. Inhale, center, right. Inhale, center, left. Inhale, center, right again. Inhale, center, left. All right, pausing in the center, keeping the arms where they are, and bringing both arms and the hands to the center, interlacing the fingers, and holding them out in front, and imagining that you've got a big spoon that you're holding in your hands. And in the center between your legs, you've got a big pot of soup or something like that you want to stir. Again, keeping the legs wide as they feel comfortable, nice and tall through the spine, reaching up through the head and the neck, grabbing your spoon. As we inhale, we're going to reach forward towards the right toes, reaching forward, 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 over to the left. Exhale, bring that spoon back. So we're making a big circle with our spoon in our pot. Inhaling to the front, exhaling back. Once more, inhaling to the front, exhaling to the back. Reversing that now, inhale towards the left foot, through the front, right foot, back and around. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Once more, inhaling, exhaling. Coming back to the center, bringing the legs back together. Just turn around for you, zipping the legs back together. Again, nice and tall through the spine, rolling the shoulders back and down. Bending through the elbows, bringing our hands, soft fists up to the shoulder. This time what we'll do is we'll inhale, bringing the arms up alongside the head, reaching up through the hands. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, extending the arms as far as they can go towards the toes. Inhaling again, drawing those fists in, drawing those elbows in, making sure they're grazing the ribs as they come past, leaning back ever so slightly as far as you feel comfortable, engaging those stomach muscles. Inhaling, reaching up. Again, exhale, reaching forward, hinging from the hips. Releasing back, drawing those elbows and arms in. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, reaching forward. Drawing those arms in. All right, pausing here, arms up to the shoulders. This time we'll go reverse. So grazing those arms, those elbows along the ribs. Hinging forward from the hips, reaching towards the toes, lifting the arms up. Up alongside the head, coming back down towards the shoulders. So having that nice rowing motion. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. Once more. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. All right, pausing here for a moment. Feeling the warmth in the body. We've done a lot of twisting, done some movement through the abdominals as well. Now we'll come over onto our shins. So resting on the shins, resting the bottom down onto the heels. Again, nice and straight and tall through the spine. This time what we'll do, as we inhale, reaching the arms up alongside the head. Exhale, hinging from the hips, releasing the torso over top of the thighs, so coming down into a child's pose. Arms extending long on the mat, bottom still reaching down towards the heels. And gently walking the arms back, lifting yourself back up to the beginning position. So in this posture, we want to feel like we're unfurling as we're reaching the arms up, inhaling, unfurling that firm. Exhale, growing long, reaching the tendrils of that fern as it opens up out of its spiral. Inhale, coming back to the beginning. Exhale, once more, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, hinging forward over the thighs, extending the arms long. Taking a breath here. Coming back up to starting position. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, breathing in. Reaching the arms up, expanding the lungs and the ribs. Exhale. Hinging over the thighs. One breath here. Inhaling back up. Right, staying with the shins on the mat. This time bring the bottom up. Bringing the knees hip width apart. You can bring the feet out hip width apart as well. Now a few options here. You can place the hands into the small of the back, palms into the small of the back. Or if you like, you can place the fists in. Both options, we want to be squeezing those shoulder blades together, rolling the shoulders back and down, opening up through the chest. And we want the movement to be coming from the chest, so lifting up and out through the chest. Being mindful for your back, gently pushing the hips forward. So pressing the hands into the lower back, pushing the hips forward, hips coming over the knees. Lifting up and out of that lower back, lifting up through the chest. And if that feels comfortable, lifting the chin, looking up towards the ceiling. Very gentle back bend here. Still having that feeling of unfurling. Taking a few breaths here. One more breath. Bring the chin down, bring the hips back. And just staying here in this neutral position. If at any point that this makes you feel a bit dizzy, do chuck the chin into the chest and do feel free to come down into a child's pose like this if you feel any sensations of dizziness. All right, so you can stick with that version that we've just done. If you feel like you can go a bit deeper, this time what we'll do is same again, pushing the hips forward, bringing the hips over the knees, pressing the hands into the lower back to begin with, making sure we're lifting up and out of that lower back, lifting up through the chest as if the string is pulling the chest up and away. And this time, if you like, you can bring one hand down to the heels, squeezing that bottom in, protecting the lower back. Tilting back a little bit more, lifting up through the chest stronger. Pushing the hips forward stronger. Lifting the chin, looking up towards the ceiling. Nice deep breathing. Exhaling, opening up through those hips, through the front of the hips, opening up through the shoulders and the chest. If the neck is okay, you can start to drop the head back, looking back towards the back of the room. One more breath wherever you are. If the head is back, looking forward before releasing the heels, coming back up to a neutral position. And then wherever you are, releasing the bottom down towards the heels and releasing down to a child's pose. So extending the arms forward this time, releasing the head down towards the mat, releasing the bottom down towards the heels, stretching the back out here. One more breath here. And when you're ready, inhaling, lifting the head, walking the hands back towards the knees. All right. So now that we've unfurled a little bit more, we'll start to unfurl the body further. So standing on the mat, at the top of your mat or in the center of your mat. Bring the feet either hip width apart or a little bit wider. And either having the toes facing straight forward or having them out slightly at a more than a 45-degree angle, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Inhaling. Exhaling, dropping the bottom down, coming down into a primal squat. Placing the hands on top of the feet or curling the fingertips slightly underneath the arches of the feet. In this position, as we inhale here in the squat, looking up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to lift the bottom, extend up through the legs, allow the torso to fold over the thighs. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, drawing the bottom down, releasing the bottom down towards the heels, lifting the head, opening up through the chest and the shoulders. Exhaling, extending the legs, releasing the torso over top of the body. Taking a breath, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, drawing the bottom down, lifting the chest high, lifting the head high, looking up towards the ceiling, or just lifting the chin. Exhaling, hinging forward. Let's do one more round. Inhaling, dropping the bottom down, opening up through the chest. In this position, we want to make sure that the knees are actually going over the feet so that we can get those heels down. If the heels don't come down entirely, that's fine. You can have them lifted. And exhaling, folding forward. Taking one breath here. Releasing the hands away from the feet. Walking the feet closer together, either a fist width or you can have them completely together. I'm just going to turn to the side here and gently rolling the spine up, tucking the chin into the chest, rolling out nice and slow. Keep unfurling that body, rolling the shoulders back and down and lifting the chin up. Pausing here for a moment to feel into the legs, into the lower back. Just noticing how the body is feeling at this point. This time as we inhale, bringing the arms alongside the head and either having the arms at shoulder width apart, or if the shoulders are nice and open, placing the palms together above the head. Inhale, growing tall through the spine, reaching those arms up and away. As we exhale, bending through the knees, starting to release the bottom down towards the heels and just going as far as we can. If you can, coming all the way down. Exhaling here, inhaling. Growing tall, rooting down through the feet. The feet are like roots of a tree. The arms and the upper part of the body is the foliage of the tree. Inhaling, growing tall, exhaling, bending through the knees, squatting down. Down towards the ground, exhaling as we come down. Inhaling, nice and slow, growing tall. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, growing tall. Once more, exhale, releasing down. Inhale, nice and slow, growing tall. All right, releasing the arms down. Giving the legs a little shake, giving the arms a little shake. That can be quite an intense one there. So walking up and down a few times, letting the feet find their natural position, and bringing our weight onto our left foot, bringing the hands on top of the hips, and rotating through the right hip. We want to be rotating right up here where the leg enters the pelvis, not just the knee, not just the ankle. So rotating up at the top of the right hip, and either placing the right heel above the left ankle, or bending through the knee, drawing the right foot up onto the inside of the left shin. Or if you're feeling nice and balanced, drawing that right foot up into the inside of the left thigh. You can use your arm to help bring the foot in. We want to very gently push the right heel slightly forward, the right toe slightly back, so that the foot is on an angle on the thigh. That will help keep it in that position. Also, squeezing the right foot and the left inner thigh together strongly will also help keep that leg in that position. Softening through the right hip, pushing the right knee outwards will also help keep you in this position. Finding a spot on the floor or finding a spot on the wall to focus on. And either keeping your hands by your hips, or bringing the hands together, palms together into pranam in the front of your body. In this position, the tree pose, we really want to feel those roots pushing down and the sensation of the upper body lifting up and away towards the ceiling. Breathing into this position, having the sensation of growing tall. My tree is in a bit of wind today, feeling a little bit wobbly. Taking a couple of more breaths here. One more. And slowly with control, releasing that right leg. Bringing the right leg down to meet the left. All right, giving those legs a little shake. A lot of balancing muscles that we use in the tree pose here. Not something that our legs are used to on a daily occurrence. All right, walking up and down again, letting the feet find their natural position. This time bringing the weight into the right leg, lifting up off the left, rotating through that left hip socket up here, and choosing a position where they're just resting the left foot on the ankle of the right foot, or bringing the foot to the inside of the shin. Wherever you need to place the foot in this position, just ensure that it's not right on top of the knee. It either needs to be below or above the knee. All right, or with the assistance of the arm. Ooh. Making sure you're balanced first. Bring that left foot into the inner right thigh. Pushing that heel forward, drawing the toes back. This side is being a bit tricky for me today. And also feel free to use the wall if you need to use the wall while you're still experimenting with your balancing. Hands on hips, or bringing the palms of the hands together. Opening up through that left knee, pushing that left knee outwards, pressing strongly the left foot into the right thigh into the left foot, squeezing in that midline, finding a spot on the floor or the wall to focus on, the drishti point. Rooting down through the right foot, imagining that you've got the roots of a tree flowing down through that right leg, upper body, the lightness and airiness, reaching up of the branches up with the foliage towards the sky. Reaching up and away, finding that balance point. Couple of more breaths here. One more breath. And with control, slowly releasing that left leg down. Ooh, that was a challenge on that side for me. Giving the legs a little shake. Maybe just giving the whole body a little shake, why not? Releasing any of that tension. Let's do a couple of jumps, shall we? All right, now meeting me back down on the mat. Sitting down on the bottom. Extending both legs long. Bending through the right knee, drawing the right knee in. Bring the right foot into the inside of the left thigh. Squaring the hips to the front of the mat. Flexing through the leg of the left foot, growing tall through the spine and waist. Lifting up and out of the side waist, front and back of the body. Rolling the shoulders back and down as we inhale. Reaching the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, hinging from the hips. Extending the arms long. And just placing the hands wherever they land, whether it's alongside the leg, and the shin, or reaching towards the foot. With the muscles of the right leg, just very gently pressing that knee down just with the muscles of the right leg. Slightly drawing the left leg back towards the pelvis to keep the pelvis square. So the legs are still engaged in this position. Nice and soft through the shoulders, neck and head. Looking towards the toes or at a spot just in front of the toes. One more breath. Releasing the hands, walking the hands back towards the body. Gently twisting towards the right leg now, placing left hand down onto the floor or onto the right knee. Inhale, growing tall. Exhale, taking the torso over towards the left, so a sideways bend. Bringing the right arm up and over. You can release that left hand down if you wish. And just reaching up and away. Making sure that we're staying nice and long in the sideways. So A nice long line from the right hip, up the right ribs, armpit, all the way up through the arm, reaching up and over, nice and open through the chest here. Now you can find some movement here if you wish. You can move back and forward or side to side. Get some movement into that side waist. And work out any kinks through there. Maybe it's just through the arm that you need a little bit of movement, whatever feels good to you. Now reaching the arm up and over, extending those fingers towards the toes. They don't need to reach. So we want to be opening and unfurling today. Wherever you are, one more breath. Inhaling, drawing the torso back up to a seated position. And we'll switch legs. I'm just going to move to the other side. You can stay where you are. So drawing the left knee in, the left foot in, to the inner thigh of the right leg, squaring the hips towards the front of your mat. Going tall through the spine, rolling the shoulders back and down, extending the toes of the right foot straight back, engaging the leg muscles, with the left leg gently pushing down through the muscles of the left leg. Inhale, both arms up on either side of the head. Exhale, hinging from the hips, reaching, extending those arms forward and just placing them wherever they land. So alongside the leg, on the shin, towards the toes. Nice and soft through the shoulders, head and neck. Gently pressing the right leg back into the hips. Gently pressing that left knee down towards the ground, making sure that we're grounding the legs down onto the mat. And either looking at the toes or at a spot in front of the toes. Allowing the body to soften. One more breath. Walking the hands back. Right, gently twisting towards the left knee this time. You can bring the right hand onto the left knee, encouraging a stronger twist through the torso. And gently bringing the torso over the right leg. Again, you can find some movement in here if that feels good. Side to side movement. Bring that left arm up and over. Finding those sticky spots through the side body. There's usually a couple. Whether it's through the hip, through the ribs, through the arm, through the armpit, through the shoulder. Maybe you just want to move the arm. Making sure that we're staying open through the side waist and reaching that side waist from the hip all the way up alongside the ribs, up through the arm. Opening through the chest, still keeping those shoulders rolling back and down, not caving in. Unfurling, reaching away, extending the fingertips of the left arm towards the toes or towards that side of the room. They don't have to reach. We just want to be working in that direction. One more breath. And slowly unfurling out of that position, coming back to sitting straight up and down. All right, extending that left leg long again. Both legs zip together. Pausing here for a moment, growing tall through the spine. Just noticing how the right and the left legs are feeling. The right and the left side of the side waist, shoulders and arms. Feeling the length of the spine, front of the body and chest. Right, just turning to face the long edge of your mat. Placing yourself in the center of the mat, extending the legs out to the left and the right, however wide that you wish to do that. And just rolling the shoulders back and down, placing the hands behind the legs and just tenting the fingertips so that you're not pressing down, you're just lightly touching the ground. Flexing the toes of the right and the left foot back, engaging through the shins, engaging through the quad muscles, lifting those kneecaps up and rotating those thighs slightly as well. Nice and open and airy. Pausing here, taking a few deep breaths. One more. This time as we inhale, reaching the arms alongside the head. Exhale, hinging from the hips, extending the arms long and just reaching them forward and allowing them to land wherever they land. Making sure that the kneecaps and the toes are still pointing upwards. You don't want to be rolling those legs in, keep them nice and engaged. And if your hands are all the way back here, that's fine. If they're all the way forward, that's fine as well. We just want a really gentle, wide-legged forward fold here. So more of a restorative position. We don't want to be going all the way down. Just find your edge and just sit there, allow the body to soften. Nice and relaxed through the shoulders, the neck and the head. Finding a spot in front of the fingers to focus on, or if you wish, you can close your eyes. Softening, grounding. Just hanging out. One more breath. And slowly walking those hands back towards the body. So you're sitting upright again. Very slowly bending through the knees, bringing the hands under the thighs and allowing your arms to bring the legs back together, nice and slow. Little by little. Extend the legs long in front, maybe give the legs a little wobble back and forth. Loosening some more through the hips, through the knees. All right. Now if it's chilly wherever you are, grabbing some layers or a blanket. Getting ready for shavasana. So scooching back down to the bottom of your mat. Bring the legs hip width apart. Bring the fingertips to touch. Reaching forward and then slowly with control, releasing the spine back and down. Once the shoulders touch the mat, you can release the arms and let the arms roll away from the body. Tucking the chin into the chest, lifting the head up onto the chest, and then slowly releasing the shoulders and the back of the neck back down, making sure we're extending that neck long along the mat. Making any final adjustments. Finding a spot on the ceiling to focus on. And softening that focus with your eyes, making that spot go a little bit fuzzy. And if you feel comfortable closing the eyes. With the eyes closed, drawing the eyes down as if you could look through your body down to your feet. Hold that position for about 10 seconds. Now you can count it or you can reckon it. Once you've reached 10, just suddenly let the eyes go. Let the eyes soften in the sockets. Starting with the feet, clenching the toes, squeezing the toes into the base of the feet, holding, 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 and then suddenly releasing. Clenching the calf muscles and the shin muscles, clenching, 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 and then suddenly releasing. Clenching the quad muscles and hamstring muscles, clenching, 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 and then suddenly releasing. Glute muscles, squeezing that bottom, squeeze, 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 and then suddenly release. Back muscles, squeeze, 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 abdominal muscles, squeeze, 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 and release. Hands, squeezing the hands, nice tight fist, squeezing, 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 and release the hands and fingers. Forearms and upper arms, shoulders, squeeze, 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 and then suddenly release. Shoulders, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze, 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 up back as well, and then suddenly release. Facial muscles, squeezing the facial muscles, frowning, bringing the eyebrows in, scrunching the eyes, the nose, the mouth, squeeze, 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 and then suddenly release. All right, all the muscles in the body, squeezing, tension, squeeze, 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 squeeze everything in the body, and then suddenly release and let everything go. Bringing the mind, the breathing, observing the breathing. Just observing the spontaneous breath. Feeling the chest rising and falling. Just focusing your mind on the breath. Now, without forcing the breath, just beginning to breathe in through the nose, back the throat, down into the lungs, out of the lungs, back of the throat, out through the nose. Now just making a mental note of how long it takes you to do one inhale and one exhale. So just counting as each second goes by. Now you may have noticed that each round of breath is slightly different, each inhale, each exhale, and that's completely normal. Now that you've done a few rounds of breath, just take the average count, whatever that is, whether it's a 3 count, a 4 count, maybe a 5 count, and now just gently setting the intention to make all rounds of inhale and exhale the same breath count. If at any point this becomes stressful to your body, or you feel like you're not getting enough oxygen, either drop 1 count of the breath count or just returning to your natural spontaneous pattern. And we'll just do a couple more rounds. Last round. All right, now just letting the concentration of the breath count go and allowing your body, allow your breathing to return to its natural spontaneous pattern. And starting to wriggle the fingers and the toes, bring some movement back to the body. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your right side, pausing there for a moment. And keeping the eyes closed, pushing yourself back up to a seated position. Growing tall through the spine, neck and head. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Commit here to the practices that will help you tend the garden of the intentions you have that can help you nurture the seeds that you've planted. feeling into the body. And just noticing how your body is feeling now, compared to beginning of class. How your breath is feeling now. How your mind is feeling now. Getting ready to close the practice. We will chant 3 Oms, followed by Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi, Hari Om. Taking 1 breath to prepare, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling for Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Rubbing palms of the hands together, creating some heat. Placing the palms of the hands over the eyes, peering into the palms of the hands, allowing the eyes to adjust to the light. Placing the hands over the cheeks and the face, over the throat and the neck. Placing the palms together again, rubbing the backs of the hands, fingers and thumbs, wrists and forearms. Placing the palms of the hands together again. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you feel grounded, unfurled, and feeling like you're reaching up, growing up like a beautiful plant. Thank you for joining me for today's class. Hari Om Tat Sat.